doesn't matter what the internet says. It matters what we think. Yay.
So what do you think? Did you have an effect on my mental health?
Yes. I'm saying yes. And I love you. I love you. I don't want you to be not perfect. I love you. And I want my daughter to love you the way you want her to love you.
We've all seen the headlines, the viral clips, the late-night whispers that light up every corner of the internet. Those moments when a single name drops and suddenly Hollywood, Wall Street, and the justice system all start trembling. But what happens when that name isn't just another rapper, mogul, or reality TV star? What happens when it's the mastermind herself, the woman who turned family chaos into a billion-dollar empire? Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the Kardashian dynasty, now finds herself caught in a storm that's shaking her empire to its core. The same woman known for her iron grip on image control is now facing cracks so deep, even her PR magic might not patch them up this time. Reports are swirling about a bombshell investigation linking her to some of the most shocking scandals of the decade. From Diddy's shocking downfall to a $500 million mystery wrapped around Britney Spears and a secretive private church. All threads seem to lead right back to Kris, and some say that church might just be the missing key to everything. It all began with a single tweet, then a wave of them. By December 2025, the internet was on fire with one burning question. Why is 50 Cent coming for Kris Jenner? The rapper turned media mogul, fresh off his brutal expose on Diddy, started dropping cryptic hints about his next major target. And fans are convinced Kris is right in his crosshairs. Fans went wild. Insiders started to panic, and suddenly everything began to click. Rumors turned into receipts when sources close to production finally confirmed it. 50 Cent isn't just teasing another expose, he's going all in with a full-blown docu-series. This time, he's ready to pull the curtain wide open on Kris Jenner's most closely guarded secrets, from her money moves to her deep ties with Diddy's inner circle. There's even talk of a tangled web of transactions that some legal experts claim could spark serious RICO-level trouble. This isn't your average Hollywood drama. This is a potential legal bomb, and it looks like the timer's already counting down. Every move, every connection, every shady deal is suddenly under a microscope, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other, and yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
There was an insane party in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills, on Saturday night, and in terms of net wealth, 3 people alone made it $1 trillion party. This was Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, and it was held at the home of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez in Beverly Hills.
Just a few months earlier, back in September 2024, Diddy's shocking arrest shook the entertainment industry to its core. The federal indictment was nothing short of brutal. Racketeering, coercion, and allegations of transporting individuals across state lines for what prosecutors described as elaborate, produced encounters. But buried deep in those court documents was something no one saw coming. Something that might tie right back to Kris Jenner herself. And then came the tabloid explosion. One jaw-dropping detail that nobody could ignore. Diddy's long, well-documented friendship with the Kardashian-Jenner clan suddenly started looking a lot less innocent. Khloe's shocking 2014 confession on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, when she admitted half the people there were naked, stopped being just another wild reality TV moment. It became potential evidence. And now, Kris Jenner, the same woman who built her legacy on controlling every narrative, was desperately trying to back away from the man she once called a dear friend. But that's where things got downright messy. While the public was glued to Diddy's legal meltdown, insiders started poking around Kris's own financial blueprint. And what they found led straight to the California Community Church, a private institution she helped create back in 2009. On paper, it's a church. But behind the scenes, critics claim it's really a slick tax haven in disguise. Reports say the membership doesn't come cheap. It supposedly costs $1,000 a month, plus a 10% tithe from each member's income. And because of its religious status, all that money flows tax-free. So who's been moving funds through this so-called church? Financial analysts are pointing straight at the Kardashian-Jenner family themselves. They claim that donations made to Kris's church translate into massive tax breaks, while the money stays under the family's control the entire time. It's a system so smooth, it's almost genius. One forensic accountant even told The Hollywood Reporter, "It's robbery with a smile. At least a thief shows you the gun." Then comes the wildest twist yet, the Britney Spears connection. This thread is so tangled, it sounds like something straight out of a conspiracy blog, yet every detail lines up too neatly to ignore. Back in 2018, Britney's sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, was officially appointed as the trustee of Britney's biggest financial trust. But right around that same time, court documents revealed something shocking. Nearly $600 million vanished from Britney's accounts, quietly rerouted to a holding company based in Panama. The timing? Beyond suspicious. The people involved? Even more alarming. One name kept popping up: Lou Taylor, Britney's former manager and the very architect behind her controversial conservatorship. Turns out, Lou wasn't just managing pop stars. She had deep connections with both Diddy and Kris Jenner. In fact, Taylor once worked at Uptown Records in the 90s, where she met a young Diddy just as his empire was taking off. Fast forward decades later, and she was reportedly handling his finances, while allegedly moving millions from Britney's accounts. And here's the jaw-dropper. Lou's husband just happens to oversee Calvary Chapel, another church-connected organization that's already faced serious scrutiny for its questionable money practices. Coincidence? Or is this exactly how the game is played at the top? The pieces are stacking up in ways that are hard to ignore, and every move seems to circle back to Kris Jenner's empire. Let's not forget Cory Gamble, Kris's longtime partner. His 2020 Instagram post suddenly feels way heavier than it did back then. He wrote, "Happy birthday, Kim Porter. I will always continue to thank you for all you and Diddy did for my life." What once looked like a heartfelt tribute now reads more like a receipt, proof of deep ties that go way beyond friendship. Insiders say Cory wasn't just a casual guest at Diddy's infamous gatherings. He was a regular, someone who fit right into that world. And if federal investigators really start connecting dots between Diddy's alleged operations and the Kardashian-Jenner financial web, Cory's name might start popping up more in courtrooms than on celebrity blogs. And here's where it gets even more suspicious. Both Kris and Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy on Instagram exactly 24 hours before Homeland Security raided his properties in March 2024. Was that a random coincidence, or did someone inside the circle know what was coming? Sources close to the family describe full-blown panic behind the scenes, with Kris allegedly working overtime to cut all visible ties before things blew up. But in a world ruled by subpoenas, emails, and digital trails, simply hitting unfollow won't erase the connections, especially when you look at the timing of Kim Kardashian's $600 million windfall. The same amount Britney fans claim mysteriously vanished. That payday lined up perfectly with the sale of 50% of Kylie Cosmetics. And yes, we're talking about the exact same number during the exact same time frame. This is no longer just about bad press or canceled brand deals. This could be about money laundering, hidden transfers, and a family that built its dynasty on perfect image control, now staring down the kind of legal storm that could completely tear it apart. And 50 Cent, he's not sitting on the sidelines for this one. Not even close. Word is, he's been getting inside information. And some of it allegedly comes from a man who's had his own explosive fallout with the Kardashians, someone who reportedly knows exactly where the secrets, financial and otherwise, are buried. If what's being whispered is true, 50's upcoming docuseries isn't just entertainment, it's a ticking bomb. If it drops, the fallout could be immediate and brutal. RICO charges don't just go after individuals, they take down entire empires. And while that storm brews, Kris Jenner's out there playing her favorite role to perfection.
And I mean, just the funny part about this is that when you're that rich, you just do what you do.
Yeah,
and
totally.
this time, the police came and they kind of schooled him, which I think is really interesting. It doesn't matter that it's Jeff Bezos.
Right.
But, by the way, we should say, it was thrown by Kris's daughters.
The doting momager, the glamorous mastermind, the woman who hosts $70 million birthday bashes at Jeff Bezos' mansion while police show up over noise complaints. It's classic distraction. Sparkle on the surface, chaos underneath. But behind closed doors, the cracks are turning into fractures. Reports say Kim and Kylie are furious over Kris's deal with MAC Cosmetics, a move they see as stepping on their own billion-dollar beauty lines. That kind of betrayal doesn't just sting, it signals a family split. Because when the money stops flowing smoothly, the loyalty usually dries up right after. And if federal investigators start combing through the church finances, Britney's missing millions, or even Diddy's guest list, those cracks could explode into full-blown ruptures that no PR strategy can hide. And here's the most chilling layer of all. The Kardashians have spent years building an image of invincibility. Every scandal, every headline, every slip-up somehow turned into viral content and cash flow. But RICO cases don't care about branding. They care about patterns. And the pattern here is getting hard to ignore. A family repeatedly linked, directly or indirectly, to some of the most controversial power players in entertainment. Diddy, Lou Taylor, and the shadowy financial webs that allegedly helped keep Britney under control for 13 long years. If 50 Cent's team really has what they claim, then this isn't just another tell-all. This could be a blueprint for prosecutors. What's coming might go way beyond entertainment gossip. It could become the kind of evidence that shakes entire industries. And here's the question no one's daring to ask yet. Who else is on that list? 50 Cent didn't climb to the top by thinking small. If Kris Jenner is just the first domino, then who's lined up behind her? Because the whispers say this web stretches much further than anyone expected. The names being floated are jaw-dropping. Former business partners, silent investors, and A-list celebrities who've shown up at those exclusive Diddy parties. Insiders suggest this isn't just a Kardashian problem. It's a full-blown ecosystem where loyalty is nothing more than a transaction, where so-called churches operate like private banks, and where the line between friendship and complicity is so blurred, you can't tell one from the other anymore. As of this week, Kris Jenner's team has reportedly gone into damage control overdrive. Lawyers have been called in, statements are being rewritten, and NDAs are being reinforced, but it might be too late, because in both the court of public opinion and possibly a real courtroom, that damage might already be irreversible. After all, when your entire empire is built on transparency, even the faintest hint of a cover-up hits like kryptonite. And right now, that faint whiff of scandal has turned into a full-blown stench. What's certain is this: the docuseries is real, and it's coming. The FBI's Financial Crimes Unit might be staying silent for now, but make no mistake, they're watching every move. And Kris Jenner, the same woman who once swore she'd do whatever it takes to protect her family's legacy, is about to learn what happens when the biggest threat isn't the paparazzi, it's federal law. The real question isn't whether the Kardashian empire can survive. It's whether there'll be anything left to save once the dust settles. Because if the last few weeks have shown us anything, it's that the first domino has already fallen, and the rest, we're about to see just how far this chain reaction goes. The deeper you dig, the clearer it becomes. Kris Jenner's empire wasn't just built on reality TV fame or flashy headlines. It was constructed on a web of powerful connections, layered with secrecy and strategy so tight that pulling one loose thread could send the entire empire crashing down. Every link, every favor, every business deal seems to lead right back to the same tangled network. And at the center of that web stands one man, Cory Gamble. He's been by Kris's side for nearly a decade, always cool, calm, and unbothered, but behind that low profile lies something far more strategic. Insiders describe him as the bridge, the quiet link between the Kardashians and the very figures now sitting at the center of federal investigations. Even his 2018 Instagram post, where he thanked Diddy and the late Kim Porter for everything they did for his life, now reads less like nostalgia and more like a digital receipt. Every detail, every connection, every coincidence suddenly matters, and the walls are closing in fast. That post might soon become Exhibit A in something much bigger. Legal experts are already saying Cory Gamble's connections could play a major role in a widening investigation, one that's now creeping closer to the Kardashian-Jenner empire itself. His history with Diddy runs far deeper than people realize. Long before he was popping up at Kris Jenner's lavish events, Cory was already part of Diddy's inner orbit, showing up at those same exclusive gatherings that federal agents are now dissecting with a fine-tooth comb.
No, I know. And sometimes I feel like what he's really trying, like he was like, oh, I'm $53 million in debt, or, that whole thing. And I'm like, what he was trying to say was, that's what he's done to spend on his clothing line over the last 15 or 20 years, whatever it's been. But it comes out not exactly the right way, and then people get it misconstrued, through the media, and then it's.
But here's where it gets really wild. Cory wasn't just a guest sipping champagne in the corner. Multiple insiders, including former Bad Boy record staffers, claim he played a hands-on role at those infamous parties. They say he helped coordinate logistics, handle introductions, and even manage guest lists, making sure everything went off without a hitch. One former assistant, speaking anonymously, said it straight. Cory wasn't just there to party, he was there to make sure things ran smooth. And if those things now fall under federal investigation, that puts Cory in a seriously dangerous position. Suddenly, his relationship with Kris Jenner doesn't look like just a romantic connection. It looks like a potential liability. But the plot thickens even more when you factor in Lou Taylor, the same woman behind the financial architecture of Britney Spears' conservatorship. According to multiple insiders, Lou wasn't just managing pop stars, she was also a key player in Kris Jenner's behind-the-scenes financial operations. Taylor's name has already surfaced in multiple lawsuits with accusations that she pocketed millions from Britney's estate while simultaneously managing funds for other high-profile clients. If investigators start following that money trail, the line between Hollywood business and criminal exposure might get blurrier than ever. But Kris's connection to Lou Taylor goes way deeper than most people realize. Court documents obtained by the New York Times revealed that Taylor actually helped Kris establish the California Community Church. Yes, the very same church now under federal scrutiny for its tax-exempt status and those eye-popping membership fees. And here's the real kicker. Lou Taylor's husband, Andrew Wallet, wasn't just some bystander. He was a trustee for Britney Spears' estate during the peak of her conservatorship, the same period when $600 million mysteriously disappeared. So you got to ask, is all this just coincidence? Or is it a sign of how the same money moves through the same hands, just under different names and shell companies? Because the deeper investigators dig, the more it looks like the same players keep popping up in different places, and always around massive amounts of cash. And just when you think the timing couldn't get more suspicious, here comes another twist. Kris's MAC Cosmetics ambassadorship, a move that reportedly sent Kim and Kylie into a rage, might not have been a random business decision at all. On the surface, it looked like just another glamorous brand deal, but insiders say the timing was no accident. The announcement dropped just weeks after Kris and Kim unfollowed Diddy on Instagram, right before Homeland Security raided his homes. Was that a coincidence? Or was Kris quietly signaling to the beauty world that she was jumping ship before the storm hit? Even more intriguing, MAC Cosmetics itself has faced whispers of financial controversy in the past. So was Kris's new alliance a calculated move to find herself a corporate lifeboat? As one former executive from a rival beauty giant bluntly put it, Kris doesn't do anything without a reason. If she's teaming up with MAC now, it's because she needs their corporate shield. And the scary part? The financial red flags don't stop there. Now let's talk about Kylie Jenner's jaw-dropping $600 million deal, the sale of 50% of Kylie Cosmetics, which closed in January 2022. Here's where it gets eerie. That was the exact same month Britney Spears' fans started shouting online about missing funds. Coincidence? Maybe, but the deeper you look, the less it feels like one.
The real red flag isn't just the timing, it's how the deal was structured. Financial filings reveal that the sale was handled through a holding company in Delaware, a state famously known for its financial secrecy laws. That's the kind of setup major corporations use when they want to keep the money trail hidden from public view.
And guess who was allegedly advising Kylie during that massive sale? According to multiple sources, Lou Taylor's firm? Yes, the same firm that was managing Britney Spears' finances during her conservatorship. If federal investigators decide to trace the path of that $600 million, they might not find a black hole after all. They could uncover a complex web of transfers where the money wasn't lost, but rather redirected, laundered, or quietly reinvested under new names and entities. And if that's true, Kylie's business victory might not be just another billionaire milestone, it could become a potential smoking gun. But wait, there's another layer. The Kardashians' reality TV contracts, the very backbone of their empire, are now under renewed scrutiny.
With the series, with the film.
I mean, I think the intention is to give a more full-bodied experience to what happened, you know, from the people that agreed to sit down and to participate. And I feel like the film asks a lot of questions, you know, maybe more questions are asked than answers given.
Insiders at E! Network, where Keeping Up with the Kardashians first aired, claim that Kris Jenner herself negotiated contract clauses that gave her financial flexibility, a polite way of saying off-book payments and creative accounting. One former producer who worked on the show for 3 seasons remembered Kris's team being very specific about certain non-traditional revenue streams staying off the official books. As that producer put it, she didn't want the IRS or anyone else knowing how the money was really moving. And if any of those private income streams were tied, even loosely, to Diddy's operations or Britney's conservatorship, the Kardashians' glitzy television empire could be reinterpreted completely. Not as harmless entertainment, but as a potential front for something much bigger. And we can't overlook the social media angle. Kris Jenner's Instagram, that perfectly polished blend of family photos, luxury flexes, and brand endorsements, might not just be PR perfection, it could be a digital trail of breadcrumbs. Digital forensics experts have already noticed something strange. Multiple posts featuring Diddy mysteriously vanished in the days right after his arrest. Coincidence? Maybe. But in today's world, the internet never forgets. Archived versions of those deleted photos clearly show Kris and Diddy looking cozy at high-end events as recently as 2019. smiling, hugging, the picture of friendship and influence. Here's the problem. If federal investigators subpoena her social media data, those deletions might not just look suspicious. They could look criminal. In a RICO investigation, deleting or hiding posts tied to key individuals can be seen as tampering with evidence. And that's not just bad optics, that's a felony. And the danger for Kris isn't theoretical anymore. RICO cases don't require you to be caught in the act. They focus on patterns of behavior, associations, and money trails that suggest a bigger conspiracy at play. And if there's one thing Kris Jenner has built her empire on, it's control. Control over the narrative, the finances, the family image, and even who gets close enough to be part of the inner circle. But control has a dark flip side, especially when the people you've aligned yourself with start falling one by one. Diddy's indictment might have been just the first domino, but if investigators start connecting the dots, from Diddy to Kris, through Cory Gamble, through Lou Taylor, and even through those deleted Instagram posts, the picture that forms could be devastating. Because at that point, the Kardashian-Jenner empire might stop looking like a powerhouse brand and start looking like a corporate machine with something to hide. Behind the glitz and curated smiles, the Kardashian-Jenner family is reportedly starting to crack under the pressure. The tension that's been bubbling behind closed doors is finally spilling out. And it's not pretty. Sources say Kim's fury over Kris's MAC Cosmetics deal wasn't just about money or business. It was about betrayal. Kim allegedly felt blindsided, seeing the move as Kris choosing profit over loyalty. Meanwhile, Kylie's silence on the $600 million question speaks louder than any post or statement could. And Khloe, who once proudly talked about her friendship with Diddy, has suddenly gone completely silent. What we're seeing isn't a simple PR mess, it's a full-blown family reckoning. Loyalty inside the Kardashian camp is now being measured by legal risk, not love or trust. And if Kris ever finds herself forced to pick between protecting her daughters or protecting herself, insiders say we already know which way she'll lean. History has shown one thing about Kris Jenner. She'll always do whatever it takes to survive. But survival hits different when it's not paparazzi outside your gates. It's the FBI. And then comes the wild card. Yeah, his long public feud with the Kardashians has been documented for years, but what's happening behind the scenes might be even more explosive. Sources claim Ye's private conversations with 50 Cent have taken things to a whole new level. The rapper, who spent years railing against the forces he says control Hollywood, has allegedly handed 50 Cent documents, text messages, and financial records connected to Kris Jenner's hidden dealings. According to someone close to Ye, his motive is simple. He wants to burn it all down. And if even a fraction of what he's turned over is authentic, Kris Jenner's legal team might soon be staring down a tsunami of evidence they never saw coming. The scariest part? The Kardashians have built their empire on the illusion of being untouchable. But RICO cases don't care about fame, fortune, or followers. They only care about proof. The truth is, the FBI doesn't care about reality TV ratings or Instagram followers. They're not impressed by influencer power or brand deals. They care about paper trails, patterns, and financial footprints. And Kris Jenner's empire has reportedly left plenty of those scattered across multiple industries. If investigators start connecting those dots, from her private church to the cosmetics empires to the tangled conservatorship funds, the Kardashian brand might not just take a hit, it could collapse completely. So now we're left asking the question everyone's afraid to say out loud. How far will Kris Jenner go to protect what she's built? Will she throw Cory Gamble under the bus if it means saving herself? Could she cut a deal with prosecutors and trade secrets for immunity? Or will she double down, betting that her influence, her powerhouse legal team, and her polished image can outlast the storm closing in around her? Because one thing's for sure, the next move in this saga won't come from a glossy magazine interview or a carefully staged Instagram post. It's going to come from a legal filing, a subpoena, or a bombshell leak so massive, it'll make Diddy's arrest look like just the warm-up act. So now it's over to you, the audience that's been watching this empire rise and possibly start to crumble. Do you believe Kris Jenner is the mastermind behind a billion-dollar financial game that's finally caught up to her? Or is she just another Hollywood power player trapped in a web that's spun out of control? Or maybe Kris Jenner isn't the mastermind at all. Maybe she's just the latest casualty in a system built to protect power at any cost. In a world where influence rules and secrets buy silence, it's getting harder to tell who's pulling the strings and who's getting played. So what do you think? Is Kris running the game, or is she just another piece being moved on someone else's board? Drop your theories in the comments below, because this story is unraveling fast, and the next chapter could explode any moment. Until then, stay sharp, keep your eyes open, and remember, in Hollywood,
The biggest scandals aren't the ones you see coming, they're the ones hiding right in plain sight. We'll see you in the next video, where the truth always finds a way to the surface. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep this investigation alive.